All right. We can't hear it on Zoom because Zoom blocks your sound, but it's okay. I saw you do it, so that works for me. My name is Porsche Mysticque Steele. I'm an award-winning book coach, TEDx speaker, and independent publishing expert. And get this, I'm one of the youngest Black female self-publishing experts in the world. That's going to change as I get older, but it's okay. I'm 30 years old and I have published over 100 books for people all around the world. And I published my own, The CEO Author. Now let me explain to you a little bit about what I do, and then we're going to talk about you. So I help small to medium-sized business owners turn their brands into books. I've been able to partner with people like Ramon Ray, Shay Brown, Rachel Weaver, Robert Shigard, Kennedy III. These are amazing, powerful people who create an impact on the people they speak to, the people that they serve. And I've been so blessed to be able to do that. But today, I want to talk about you and your stories. Because I've heard all these talks about books and getting your book out there and telling your story, and it is beautiful. Everything you heard, you need to write those things down on a notepad and act on them. But that's the tricky part, right? Taking the information that you received and making it real. Like bringing it to life. Because let me give you a statistic that people say. 93% of adults want to write a book. Can we just do that by show of hands? I know we did this earlier, but now I'm looking at you. I just want to see how many of you want to write a book. Raise your hand. Yeah, okay. 2 people. That is not the 93% that they told me. But that's okay. 93% of people want to write books, and 3% actually do. So what does it look like to be a part of that 3%? I'm going to tell you a little something that's quite radical, that some people don't even like to hear. Are you guys ready? You ready for me to get radical on you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make it happen. Here's the thing about us as women. Throughout history, our stories have always been suppressed in one form or another. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, well, not me, Portia, because you do make things. We'll go out there on social media, I make it happen, I'm my true, authentic self. But here's something that we don't realize. Our stories are usually only told in snippets, only small parts. There's only maybe 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 people in our lives who know the entire story of why we are the way we are. So what happens when only a fraction of your story is told? I'm going to tell you something. You are the reason that progress is halted in life. You are the reason that societies cannot evolve. And you are the reason that that person that can't overcome the obstacle that is before them is struggling. But just as you are the reason for that, you are also the cure. See, we don't like to be told that. But did you know that there's somebody walking through life right now that needs to hear your story? And because that story is not being told, or it's only being told in snippets, the transformation that they can get from you doesn't exist. You are the cure. And right now, I want to discuss with you how to bottle that cure and deliver it to those who need it most. We're going to go over 3 things. Number 1, how to generate real impact with your story and your wisdom. Number 2, how to turn that into an asset for your business. And number 3, how to turn that asset into generational wealth. Now you heard a little bit earlier about how you can make 10 grand from a book, which is beautiful because that literally is one of the things that I teach. But it isn't just the strategy of marketing or promoting or using social media that creates that wealth. It's actually what you do before you write. You guys following? You guys with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hand waves. Thank you. It's what you do before you write. Now, if you're taking notes on this, I want you to write something down. Ready? Story plus wisdom equals impact. Story plus
Just have a
wisdom
look. We will come in
equals
private.
impact. That is the equation that I teach in all of my coaching and every stage that I get on, in every room or workshop that I run. Story plus wisdom equals impact. It is only when you tell your story and you combine it with your wisdom does your readers, does your audience get an impact. Let me break it down for you. Most people think that when they want to write a book, they're going to tell a story about their life because they've been through some crazy stuff and it should be in a book. I mean, just think about it. How many of you have actually heard somebody say, oh my gosh, you've been through something amazing. Do you have a book? Or you should put that in a book. Raise your hand if you heard that. Thank you. Yeah, those books are called memoirs. Now, I know people are telling you that, but let's be honest. If you wrote a book about it and you went through all the hard work, the time, the money, the energy into putting that book out there, do you think they would actually pick it up and read it? Not unless they already know you. Unfortunately, if you are not a celebrity or an influencer, it is difficult to generate impact with just your story. Now let's talk about wisdom. Some of us are experts in our niches. We know the things that we know, and we can consider ourselves experts. But if you published a book that only included your expertise, your wisdom, do you know what that book is called? It's a textbook. And unless you are in universities or you want to give lectures 24/7, a textbook isn't really going to serve you. So if you're not going to do a memoir and you're not going to do a textbook, you combine the two to generate impact. Now, if you don't believe me, let's test this theory. I want somebody to shout out, or everybody, if you will, what is the world's most popular book of all time?
The Bible.
Job, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's the Bible. The Bible is the world's most popular book, and it is also the most impactful. Now, let me tell you a little something. Why is it that when we are struggling with something in our lives, we go back and we read the same verses in the Bible, even if we know them by heart? See, that's the beauty. The Bible shows us that formula of story plus wisdom equals impact. The Bible gives us so much information, so much knowledge, and so much wisdom. But what makes it impactful are the stories that are wrapped around them. If you tell your story and you combine it with wisdom, your impact will be significant. It is that story and that wisdom that has the potential to move a nation. It is that story and that wisdom that has the power to rebuild societies. It is that story and your wisdom that has the power to transform the mindset of a global collective. We as women are beautifully positioned to make that happen. We've seen it. We've got women like Maya Angelou who did that, combined her story and her knowledge to shift an entire nation in understanding what it actually looks like to bear your soul on paper. You are beautifully positioned to shift and shape an entire nation with just your story and just your wisdom. But you have to combine them. So how do we turn that into an asset that pays? Because at the end of the day, we all want to make money. If you want to make money, give me a whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you. Okay. We need to make money. Impact is beautiful. I mean, that's what we use to change a nation. But money speaks volumes too. And we're all growing businesses. That's what we need. So how do you turn that into an asset? I'm going to share with you a signature. It's not a secret anymore because I run my mouth too much and I'll talk about it a lot. But it is my signature strategy for making 10 grand on any book release. Now let me explain to you what I did. On May 6th, I released the book, The CEO Author. That is the name of my book. I released it, excuse me, I didn't release it, I published it on May 6th. On August 19th, it went live. By September 19th, that's 30 days, I had earned $30,000 in revenue from that book. How did I do that?
Yeah.
Let's break it down. This is what I'm talking about when I say turning your book into an asset. I published my book on May 6th, but I didn't release it until August 19th. It didn't go live until August 19th. Why? Pre-sales. I decided that I wanted to host an event around my book. So I took the title of my book and created the CEO Author Summit. This was a free virtual event that you could get tickets to. And if you wanted to upgrade, you could upgrade for $47. I invited my friends to come speak about how to use your book to do different things, like how to use your book to build a personal brand, how to use your book to get on the TEDx stage, how to use your book to pitch to news stations and radio. I had these friends come in and speak, give tons and tons of value. Now let's go through the numbers. That event was on August 19th. I had sold 150 tickets. 75 of those people bought the VIP tickets for $47. Now what they didn't know was that this was actually the launch of my book. But I didn't want to make it about the book. I wanted to make it about the transformation that you could get as an author. So people were more willing to pay $47 to attend an event than they are to pay $15 for a book that they have to read. So they get into the event, we have a good time, we give tons of value. In that event, I give them options. You can buy the book. You can schedule a call with me. You can do whatever you want in this space to create the reality that you want, and I am here to support you in doing that. So 150 people registered to attend, 75 of them got tickets for the VIP option. Out of those people, I sold 70 books that day. Now my book was being sold for $15. There was no way I was gonna hit 30 grand with just 70 books sold at $15. But I offered them to schedule a discovery call with me. If this event was impactful for you, you could get on the Zoom with me and we could talk about what it looks like to create those possibilities. And that's exactly what I did. 3 of those people that scheduled those calls ended up becoming coaching clients of mine at $7,000. And in the rest of those clients either bought copies of my book, or they upsold into a one-off coaching, or they joined my community. Between all of these different things, those 7 people that scheduled calls and then bought from me, plus the 70 copies of my book, generated $30,000 in revenue. Now that's large scale. The goal is for you to do that very simply on your own, which is why you can earn a minimum of $10,000 for every book that you sell. There are at least 13 streams of revenue from a book. Let's be real, you're never gonna get rich off of book sales alone. Even Stephen King doesn't get rich off of book sales alone. That's why he has movies and TV shows and everything else. Duly noted. You're not going to get rich off of book sales alone, so you have to tap into the 13 streams of income, and let's go through a few of them. Number 1, host a free event, just like I did. I made $30,000 from that event. Number 2, go on a book tour. I'm fresh off my book tour. It was a 25-day tour. I went to 5 cities. I was in Murrieta, California, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, New York City, New York, and Atlanta, Georgia. Incredible. It was fun. It was amazing. $10,000 in revenue. I spent $3 grand, so okay, $7,000 in profit. You have a book tour. Masterclasses. Masterclasses are the greatest way to turn the content that is in your book into something educational that people can learn from. And on that masterclass, you have an offer to get them into a discovery call with you, and then you can upsell them on whatever works for them. Workshops. Workshops are super powerful, they're incredible, they create things for your audience members, and they allow you to go above and beyond for the people that you serve. And I'll give you one more, audiobooks. Unfortunately, in this day and age, a lot of us as business owners and entrepreneurs, we don't have time. So we utilize audiobooks to consume information and change our minds, our bodies, our businesses for the better. So if you don't have an audiobook, get one. So these are just 5 of the 15 streams of income. When you tap into all 13 of them, that's when you get into generational wealth. Because a book is timeless. Unlike your business, a book will be here forever, even when you're gone. So what would it be like for you to have a book that combines your story and your wisdom that creates generational wealth for you and your family and generational transformation for all of your readers? And that is my time. My name is Porsche Mysticque Steele, award-winning book coach, TEDx speaker, independent publishing expert. If you're interested in learning more about me or even jumping into my DMs, you can find me on all platforms or just go to PorscheSteele.com. And I do have a freebie for you. I will give you a free exploration call if you text the word book to 901-205-9804. Again, text the word book for a free exploration call to 901, I hope you're writing this down, 205-9804. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.